All right, we begin with breaking news this morning. President Donald Trump is heading back home following the breakdown of his second summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. He left Vietnam today and will return to Washington.
We know because it is carnival season, there are extra police on the ground everywhere, especially in the French Quarter. Did that possibly play a role in how quickly they responded to this?
She didn't spend a lot of money. She barely had any commercials, any TV ads. There wasn't anything in the newspaper. In fact, she only spent about $2,000 on her entire campaign. And get this, she decided to put her name on the ballot the very last day of the qualifying period back in July. Yet here she is facing off against the interim Secretary of State, Kyle Ardoin.
I'm talking London, Kentucky, California, Florida, my home state. Hey, and then we're catching beads and we're throwing them out to people along Bourbon Street. They're literally packed down here right now wanting to catch these beads. One more. Oh. There we go.
See, Murder and I talked for about 15 minutes.
I'm not gonna lie, these last 16 years has been a struggle.
Corey Miller, known to many of you as C. Murder, has spent more than a decade in prison. And up until a few days ago, he wasn't sure if he'd ever get out.
I've been snatched away from my family, from raising my kids.
And Gina, I think the question this morning is not only why did this happen, but who is responsible for this? Chief Michael Harrison saying they really don't know much. Besides, there were two people who were wearing hoodies and they just walked up to this building right behind me last night around 8:30 and started shooting at that crowd of people. Let's go back to that moment last night, though, and tell you what police say they know so far.
This is a special screening. February is a special month, and you all over at UMC are doing something really unique. Tell us about that. Time for the big dance. You got your bracket ready?
I don't.
Are you going to?
Are you offering?
Not for you.
Oh, that's how it works?
No.
No, we're going to get this together. Yeah, it's
Oh my gosh. March Madness officially starts on Thursday, and the games have been set for the first round. Number 3, LSU, facing off against number 14, Yale.
Well, it seemed like a good idea to get guns off the streets. You turn in your gun and you get $500 cash right there on the spot, no questions asked. This was part of Gun Buyback Day.
Attorney General Jeff Landry continues his fight to abolish the Affordable Care Act. Today, he proposed legislation on what would happen if it were cut. But the governor, well, he's not on board. He says Landry endangered the health care coverage of almost 850,000 people. WDSU reporter Aubrey Killian joining us now live at the state capitol to explain what the attorney general is proposing. Aubrey.
This is a copy of that notice that was sent out from the ATC, and it could impact a lot of businesses, including one that I'm standing in front of right now here on Magazine. Now, there's no word on how long this crackdown is expected to last, but I can tell you that it's going to come down likely to 2 deciding factors. One being an opinion from the state's attorney general. We found this little bucket in the neighborhood, and there's not even a lot of water in this. Check this out. But that is enough, experts say, to cause mosquitoes to get inside of it and for those eggs to hatch.
Raise your hand if you're ready for some crawfish. There we go. Well, you can get some today.
Great.
At the 9th annual Pinchapalooza in Bucktown. We'll talk about this in a minute. This is sponsored by Deanie's Seafood, and it celebrates, of course, crawfish.
There's so many people out here waiting for that arrival, standing out here in the cold, having so much fun. I've got Angie and Sherry with me who have been doing this for years. Angie, this is your twin sister, if you couldn't tell, and this is a tradition for you, and tradition is something that a lot of people here in the city, partake in. Talk about this for you guys.
You just saw there, Hamidou Diallo with the Oklahoma City Thunder pulled out Shaq, big old Shaq, 7'1" Shaq from the crowd for his dunk. He made it over him, and he killed it, and he won. I got to admit, I've talked a lot of trash these past few years about the slam dunk contest because it hasn't been the same as it used to be, back in the day, but these kids get creative.
Let's get a big hoodat. Can we get a hoodat? Hoodat! Guys, back to you.